Hi guys, this is GSMDome.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the Motorola Moto G75 5G. It's a pretty interesting smartphone, a mid-range one that comes with a Sony Lytia 600 main sensor and a very resilient body. Aside from the IP68 certification, it also comes with a case and also with military standard certification. The price is below $300, closer to $250, because the phone has been launched for a while now, from October 2024. This is what the handset looks like. We have it in the black version, which means we have plastic at the back. There are other color versions which comes with a leather imitation. One of the best things about this phone is that it comes with 5 years of Android updates, aside from the resilient body, and a Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 processor plus 120Hz screen, and once again a pretty robust body, a large battery, and the ultra-wide camera with autofocus for your macro needs. Okay, so it's an unboxing, so let's see what's inside the box. So Moto G75 5G comes with a case which is transparent and flexible. We don't have a charger, as you've known for a while now. We have this key used to access the slots. We have this energy sticker from the European Union, as you can see here. It's B out of the A, B, C, D, E, F, G versions. Shows how resilient it is, how easy it is to repair, IP certification and battery replacements. Then we have the manual and also some juridic info. You're also going to find here a code used to trigger the SAR value. And a cable which goes from USB-C to USB-A is available as well. Now I'm going to use the key here to show you the slots, to see what kind of slot combo we have here. I'm saying that because sometimes you get room enough for both 2 nano SIMs and a micro SD, and I'm curious about that. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the, let me show you. So this is the room for the micro SD. This is the room for the nano SIM. There should also be a room for another nano SIM here, but I suppose this is more of a single nano SIM affair, if I'm being honest, plus an eSIM. That's what it looks like to me, unless I'm mistaken. Okay, so we're done with this. I also saw protection there at the end for the waterproofing. And now you know everything available inside the box. Now, aside from that, I'm going to input a code and find the SAR value. Why is the SAR value important? Because some people worry about their health and they really want to learn how much radiation the phone will emit. In order to achieve that, in order to find that out, you're going to have to input a code which is star dash 07 dash. Okay, so as you can see here, for the head we have 1.34 watts per kilogram, for the body 1.08 watts per kilogram, and for the limbs 3.18 watts per kilogram, which is quite high. The European Union requires it to be around 2 watts per kilogram maximum. Okay, so design-wise, the phone measures 8.3 millimeters in thickness and weighs 205 or 208 grams. It's got a glass front with Gorilla Glass 5 protection, and it comes with a silicone polymer back, which is basically leather, or a plastic back like we have here. It's a bit bright, as you can see. It's matte, doesn't draw many fingerprints, and if it draws them, it gets rid of them quickly. And the camera module is an approach I've seen before on both Motorola and Oppo phones. The frame is made of plastic and it's flat, helping with the grip, and the certification IP68 means dust and waterproofing up to 1.5 meters in depth for 30 minutes. MIL-STD standard available here, which is 810H, means that this phone is actually resilient to multiple things. It's resilient to very high and very low temperatures, shock, humidity, vibration, fine particles, altitude, environments with a lot of salt, like near the sea, and yeah, pretty tough phone. Now, aside from that, aside from this black color, it comes in aqua blue and something called succulent green. Quite a cute name for a color choice, right? Okay, now the screen. It's a 6.78-incher IPS LCD, Gorilla Glass 5 protection. I would say pretty large bezels compared to today's standards, but still a mid-range phone. Full HD plus resolution, 120Hz and up to 1000 nits of brightness. Now, on the CPU front, I kept mentioning the Snapdragon before. You can see it here actually, Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. It's a 4 nanometer chip, not to be confused with the Snapdragon 6S Gen 3, which is available on the G85 if I remember correctly. This one has the Adreno 710 GPU with improved AI compared to the predecessor, and we also have here 256 GB of storage, UFS 2.2, and 8 GB of LPDDR4X RAM. You can actually go ahead and expand the RAM from the settings. No, not shut out the phone. We want to do some RAM boost. You can choose to expand the RAM with 2, 4 or 8 gigs or use AI Auto. Okay, so storage is UFS 2.2 as I mentioned before. We also have a micro SD as you saw earlier. And by the way, this phone was launched in October, so it's not exactly fresh, but the price has dropped. As far as the battery is concerned, we have here a 5000 mAh unit which charges a 30 watts via wire and even charges a 15 watts wirelessly. Should reach 50% in 25 minutes of wire charging. We don't have an audio jack, as you can see for yourself, but we do have stereo speakers. One's at the bottom and one's at the top, the earpiece. We don't have a separate speaker here. This is just a microphone. We also do not have infrared emitter. Now, if you go into the apps here, if you go to the Moto and go to the Play, you have quite a few tweaks in the Dolby Atmos segment. You can actually learn more about the custom profiles or start tweaking. So we have spatial audio, we have smart audio, we have music, we have movie, we have game, podcast, and custom. And in custom, we have these 10 channels, the equalizer for extra treble, bass boost or vocal boost, surround virtualizer, and volume leveler. So yeah, we're pretty much covered with everything. Now, for security's sake, I'm going to do a demo. So we have a side-placed fingerprint scanner. On account of the fact we're using an IPS LCD screen, not an AMOLED one. Now, usual specs here include an accelerometer, gyroscope, and compass. And on the connectivity front, the phone is spec'd with the usual stuff. I'm talking about 5G, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.4, GPS, Galileo, GLONASS, BDS, QZSS. You have NFC here for your payment needs, as well as, let's see, the USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom side. Now, on the camera front, you definitely can see the cutout here. It's for a 16 megapixel camera with f2.5 aperture. I'm actually surprised to see that it has 4K capture at this price. At the back side, it's a, I would say, rather simple setup. So you can see here we have actually two main sensors. One of them is a Sony Lytia 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization, face detection, autofocus, and f1.8 aperture. Then we have the 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with f2.2 aperture and 190-degree angle of capture. It also has autofocus for your macro needs. This is the LED flash, and the Sony Lytia camera has quad pixel technology, combining 4 pixels in one. Now, the camera interface has a lot of interesting things to show, so let me just press the fingerprint scanner and check out the camera UI. Okay, so first of all, we have here panorama, tilt shift, night vision, photo booth, dual capture. There's a scan option, there's an ultra res feature, there's time lapse, there's a pro mode. We can take a raw file capture. You can also mess around with exposure, ISO, shutter, white balance, and focus. You have the portrait mode here with the selection of depth. This is the photo section. This is 2x zoom, which is pretty much lossless. We have 0.5, which is ultra wide, and macro. Here we have color profiles, which can be set to natural or auto enhance, depending on your needs. This is the video department. You can shoot 4K, and the best thing is that stabilization on can be left on even in 4K. I'm curious about the filming in 4K with the front camera. Yes, it's available, and apparently there's even some sort of stabilization for the front camera as well. Quite cool. If you go to the last area, it's slow motion, and that's about it camera wise. Okay, so we've covered the camera pretty much. I think it's time to discuss the software. One of the best things about the phone is that it comes with Android 14, but the best thing is that it offers 5 years of Android updates, 6 years of security updates. I actually got 3 updates after firing up the phone: the November one, the January one security update, and another extra one, which is pretty cool. The interface is pretty much stock, nothing you haven't seen before, but there are some extras in the form of, I would say, Moto apps. So first of all, the core Moto app with personalization. You can mess around with themes, fonts, icon shapes, colors, lock screen, clock faces, shortcuts, display size, layout, and sounds. Plus, we have the gestures, quite a few of them. Fast flashlight, 3-finger screenshot, lift to unlock, and more. There are tips if you're not familiar to the Moto or Android experience. And of course, Moto Secure is here to protect you in a brand new version, which apparently requires some extra permissions. Okay, so it's got secure folder, Android security settings, auto lock, pin pad scramble, protect from online scammer, which is something new I haven't seen before, and permission management. Then we have display with lock screen and attentive display, and play, where you can find even settings for games. So if for your gamer, you have a special dedicated toolkit, plus you can block unwanted notifications and calls and all that. So for example, you'll see the toolkit being triggered while I turn on Asphalt. Should appear toolkit from here. This is game time. Okay, you can press here, mess around with the performance, quite a few features, block the calls, even do some recording, check out some apps. So it's quite useful for gamers, even though it's not a gaming phone. Moving further, we have family space. You can create profile for your grandparent, for your kids, see them on the map, join a family, and each of them can have their own space on the phone. Aside from that, there's Moto Unplugged. If you want to find balance for a life without the annoyance of social media, you can go here and just use basic apps like call, messages, and camera, so you won't be bothered if you want to take some digital detox. Finally, Smart Connect, which is for productivity. You can stream applications to your bigger device like laptop or desktop. You can have a full desktop experience accessible via the PC. You can also have the phone mirrored on the PC. Use it as a webcam. Transfer files seamlessly and open them on the PC from the phone. Use the phone as a hotspot. Also lock the PC with your phone. You share a smart clipboard. Control with the same cursor a tablet, a laptop, and this phone. Plus have a share hub. Quickly access content via this mechanism. Or you can connect to a display like a TV set or a monitor via Miracast and do other activities there, including some video calls, gaming, and a trackpad activity. The phone becomes a trackpad. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The core aspects are the cool main camera with the Sony Lytia sensor, the extra resilient body, and of course those productivity and customization features, and why not the gaming ones. The processor is so powerful, 4nm chip. That's it from us, only $250 for Moto G75 5G. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. Goodbye.